Wholesaling real estate from A to Z. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to wholesale real estate from A to Z. I'll be going through the entire alphabet, showing you exactly every term you need to know about wholesaling real estate, literally from A to Z. So the first part we start is acquisitions. And acquisitions is simple. You're making offers and you're getting a yes into a signed contract. You get someone that says, hey, I'm looking to sell my property, into a signed contract. Now, what I like to do is go from the system of building rapport, no MCTP, condition them for a yes or no decision so they don't say a maybe, and then hitting them with a cash offer to buy their house. Acquisitions is all about confidence, which is the belief in the words you say and the things you do. It basically means you got to believe in yourself if you're going to go out here and make an offer. And acquisitions always gets better and better with time, with the more experience you get, but you don't need any experience to get a deal closed. B is buy box. B is important here because if you don't know the type of deals your cash buyer wants to buy, they're never going to want to buy your deal. The thing about cash buyers and their buy box is you want to ask them what type of deals they're looking to buy and then send them exactly what they want to buy. Do not want to be the boy that cried wolf and send bad deals to bad buyers. When you send bad deals to bad buyers, say that 3 times fast, the seller and the buyer both get hurt, and you technically, because you can't get a deal sold. The seller ends up not getting the deal sold, which means they're upset, and the buyer is mad at you and they're not going to even want to buy the deal. Or if they buy the deal at bad margins, then they're not going to make any money and they're never going to buy from you again because they had a really bad experience. Like that one pizza place you went to and you got food poisoning. You ain't never going back. And just so you know, it's Little Caesars for me. I've eaten Little Caesars 3 times in my life, and every single time I ate Little Caesars, I didn't sleep all night, and it was really bad food poisoning. Fun fact. C, cash buyers. Now, just kind of talking about cash buyers, but it's important your cash buyers buy deals that they actually make money with, because if they don't, then they're not going to buy from you. And not a lot of people talk about this, but there's actual competition with selling deals to cash buyers. If you're in a bigger market like Phoenix or Detroit, or Houston, cash buyers have a lot of wholesalers selling them deals. Well, how do you stand out? Well, you can stand out by number 1, having a great reputation with buyers, and number 2, by having a reputation of giving them good deals. Now, most people think cash buyers is all about rapport and being nice and being the sweetest dude, and that doesn't really matter at all with most cash buyers. Most cash buyers are pretty much A-B people. Like, they want to make money, and that's the most important part. And if they have a reputation with you of, hey, every single time that I buy from Zach, I make money, they're going to buy from you, especially when times get tough. And I get asked a lot, Zach, how do I find cash buyers? Well, there's multiple ways to do it, right? So if you have no money, I think Zillow is probably one of the best free options. Posting on Facebook groups is amazing, which we teach in Wholesaling.com. Or just use a disposition software like X Leads, where you can even post a deal and email blast it, or just find your buyers on there already skip trace and go boom, and then go call them up and dispo the deal. Now, D is for digital bandit signs. I think digital bandit signs are probably one of the most underutilized marketing channels out there. This is where you post on Facebook groups and Craigslist, basically a picture generated from AI saying, I'm looking to buy properties in the area for cash. If you do them and you warm up the group, which we teach in Wholesaling.com, right? Basically posting like, hey, who is the best pizza in the Houston locals group? And now your profile is charged up with the algorithm, and you post again that, hey, I'm looking to buy some more properties in the area for cash. You're gonna get a lot of views. I mean, you might get 20, 30,000 people looking at that post. You're gonna get inbound seller leads because you put your phone number on the bottom of the post. Digital bandit signs are the new bandit signs, right? Because bandit signs really aren't working too much anymore. I mean, they do, but they don't. I got my first 100K wholesaling from just bandit signs, but that's kind of like an old tactic, and I'm an old man now, so that's how I got my first couple deals. But the new age is doing digital bandit signs. Now, E stands for the EOG system. The EOG system is my system that I created. It's called the Email Offer Generator System. And pretty much this is you send emails with cash offers, enticing sellers to call you about that offer, so you get inbound seller leads. Now, for the low price of $0 and 0 cents, I can show you exactly how to start doing it absolutely for free, which, yeah, I create the system to give to you absolutely for free because you guys deserve it. But pretty much what you do is you download Google's own mail merge software that they use with Gmail and Google Sheets, where you could just have a bunch of emails on Google Sheets and click a button and they all get sent out an email, which you can create, and you can send thousands and thousands of emails a day. Now, if you want to send 1,000 emails a day, it's probably smart to have 10 Gmail accounts and do 100 Gmail accounts out of each 10 to get 1,000, then doing 1,000 out of one, because you're probably going to be spam, and that's terrible for emails. And again, it's super underutilized. I think it's going to make a big comeback. I think it's going to start being a lot bigger the next year and year after. So start using it now for wholesaling real estate deals with no marketing cost at all. Now, F is for freewholesaling.com. Freewholesaling.com is my free real estate wholesaling course. It's also my community, and it's the largest wholesaling community out there. And not to toot my own horn, but we have more successful wholesalers in that community than anybody else. And so it is the community. It is the place to be for wholesaling success. And I could probably sell it for $7-8 to get lifetime access, but I give it absolutely for free because you guys deserve a free wholesaling course and a free wholesaling community. So check it out, freewholesaling.com. Now, G is for government lists. Now, everybody knows I'm the biggest proponent of government lists, but these are lists you get from the government that cost absolutely no money at all. And these are lists like code violations, probates, liens, fire damage properties, even the water shutoff list, like a list of people whose water got shut off due to non-payment. I've been doing this for years, but telling you guys how to start pulling this list. But what I've been doing in the community in freewholesaling.com is I actually created a spreadsheet, pretty much the top 100 metro markets and how to pull the government list from every single metro market that you possibly can. I made it even easier than that. Every single month, I have something called the government list of the month. And this is basically where I pull a government list. I will skip trace it for free inside of X Leads for you for free. It costs money for me, obviously. And I give it to everyone, right? I think currently right now on freewholesaling.com in the government list spreadsheet on the list of the month, we have like 7,000 skip trace lists with emails, phone numbers, and all this data sets that I give out every single month absolutely for free. And we delete it every month and then re-upload a new government list. So you just get that free list from freewholesaling.com like right now. Like the code violations for Columbus are literally in there as we speak. So go download that list. Like I don't want any money from you right now. H is for hard money lenders. Guys, do not get screwed by your cash buyers, right? I was actually talking to one of our community members, La Buena. She's a Cleveland wholesaler. She's awesome. She's killing it right now. And she has this wholesale deal right now where the cash buyer said he's going to buy it cash. He gave $3,000 non-refundable EMD. And she was like, we're good to go. And turns out a couple weeks before closing, the cash buyer is still not set to close. Like everyone's like, wait, what's going on? And he said, well, my hard money buyer has to approve my loan to buy this house. And it was like, well, I thought you said you were a cash buyer. And the reason is she's a smart lady. Like she ain't dumb. She actually sold wholesaling deals cash from this guy. And all of a sudden he's doing it hard money. And unfortunately, this has happened to me plenty of times where hard money lenders who will just get hard money to buy the house, on the day of the closing, the underwriter says, no, we can't buy this. Just the numbers don't work. And the guy gets screwed and the cash buyer, loses their EMD, which goes to you. Nice. But the seller's like, well, what's going on? And so my advice for La Buena here was, if the person doesn't close, you need to give $1,000 of that $3,000 non-refundable EMD to the seller to extend it a month. You pocket the $2,000 for your pain and suffering and just find a new cash buyer. The thing about it is most hard money lenders don't want to gamble $3, $4, $5,000 of non-refundable EMD if the underwriter just says no. And so that's how we kind of figure out if they're going to be a hard money buyer or not. They say, well, I want to do it after most hard money buyers say, oh, well, I'll buy it after the inspection or the underwriting passes, and you don't want to deal with that. Remember, we talk about cash buyers. They're buying it with cash, not with hard money or getting a loan. Because at the last day of closing, the hard money company can just say no and not get the money out. That's why I say to avoid hard money lenders. Now, if it's private money and the cash is in the bank account, like boom, go from there. Worst case scenario, if the hard money buyer wants to screw you on the deal, they're going to lose their $3,000 or $5,000 non-refundable EMD, which goes to you. So even if you get put in the situation, just give some money to the seller, extend it a month, and then pocket the rest. Worst case scenario, you make $3,000. Best case scenario, you get $3,000 and you find another buyer. Inspection period. I get asked how many times, Zach, what type of inspection period should I put in my contract? I've been pretty standard on this, but I think 30 to 45 days is really where we want to be at on this. Anything above 45 is like a little crazy. Anything under 30 is way too close. So it's 30, 45, really depending on the situation. If it's a vacant property and I can bring all my buyers through next week, like 30. If it's a weird situation and like there's tenants involved and the scheduling's all messed up, probably 45. But it's really up to you which one you want. I also bonus, I get asked about EMD a lot. It's really up to you how much EMD you want to put. Remember, if you can't sell the deal, if you have the money to put up $1,000 EMD, like always 100% do that. 500 is okay. And we start getting into the $100 and the no EMD. If you're broke and you absolutely have $0 at all, you're going to have to do it. But I'd prefer at least 500 to 1,000 because you always get the money back if you can't find the buyer. But $100 will suffice in most title companies. J stands for JV or joint venturing or joint venture JV, whatever you want to call it. But JVing is one of the greatest strategies you can do in wholesaling real estate and one of the best free wholesaling real estate methods. And what I mean by this is JVing is just a partnering up of two wholesalers on a transaction. One of the biggest tragedies that makes me cry every single night to sleep is the fact that so many wholesalers will lock up a deal and it's a really good deal. Like they could probably make $20,000, but they just absolutely suck at finding cash buyers. And they just have to let the deal go. And then the person goes with a realtor and then the realtor gets money. And it breaks my heart these wholesalers can't make 20 grand when the truth is most realtors provide no value to society. I'm saying most, not all of them, but most of them don't. But what that wholesaler could have done in this situation is found somebody, like me that has a ton of cash buyers and be like, okay, cool. Well, let's do this 50-50 where you get half the assignment fee, I get half, and I provide my qualified, legit cash buyer and I do all the dispo help for you and even the walkthroughs and all that stuff. The seller's happy. The wholesaler that came to me is happy because they're getting it dispoed when they could have never gotten that deal dispoed. And I'm happy because I didn't have to do any dang marketing to find the deal. It's a win-win for everyone. And so if you're on the first side where you have no buyers and no boots on the ground, it's like, well, I'm wholesaling in Florida, but I'm virtually doing it in Cleveland and I had nobody to walk the buyer through in Cleveland and you don't have any money. A JV with a cash buyer option would be great. I mean, La Buena would do it for you in Cleveland. I know it's a win-win for everybody. And if you're somebody who's doing a lot of wholesaling deals and you're legit and you have a ton of cash buyers, you could probably make an extra $100,000 to $200,000 every single year by JVing in my community in ZachDiscord.com and Wholesaling.com because we have a ton of wholesalers in the group. K stands for KPIs or key performance indicators. Now, KPIs are really important for figuring out exactly the health metrics of the company. It's like kind of doing a blood test and some health markers for your body, right? It's like your blood pressure, your heart rate, your sodium levels, your cholesterol, like all that stuff, right? It's important to know exactly the beating pulse of your wholesale business. It's important to know your beating pulse of your wholesale business. So for example here, if I look at your business and I want to ask you, Zach, I want to ask you like, how many offers have you been making this past week? And it's zero, I know something is in trouble. Your wholesale business is not making any money. But it also can solve a lot of issues that you could have never done without tracking your KPIs. It's important to track your numbers because if you ain't tracking your numbers, you have no idea where we're going to be in the future. And so if you're doing a cold calling operation and you're calling 100 people a day and only 3 people a day pick up, that's a 3% contact rate. That means something in the process isn't working. Either the skip tracing's bad, the dialer's not good, your phone numbers are spam, or maybe the dialer just sucks. It's one of those things, and we got to look and see which one is not working. Maybe call your own number from the dialer and see if it pops up spam likely, then just get a new phone number. Maybe you're closing like 1 out of 30 sellers, which I've seen happen. It's like, well, you probably suck at closing. We got to work on closing sellers then. Maybe your speed to the lead is terrible, right? It's important to track these numbers to figure out where you're at in a wholesaling business and where you're going to go in the future. L stands for land. Wholesaling land is a good niche. Now, I prefer vacant properties, but vacant land's also a really good one. I think so many wholesalers only want to go after land like exclusively, and there are people that have made it their life's mission and they're doing really good doing it. But I would probably prefer that you do kind of all real estate like land and houses included, but it's really up to you. The real secret for wholesaling vacant land, the real point of wholesaling vacant land is get the deal locked up for the lowest price you possibly can, like 10, 20 cents on the dollar, and find a developer, just look up builders or developers in the area and sell the deal to them. Land really is not that complicated, especially on the sell side. Hey, looking to sell it? Well, what price do you want to sell it for? And then go from there. M, motivated sellers. This is the bleeding heart of this business. This is the marketing. This is finding the people that want to sell. This is 80% of your effort in wholesaling real estate. It's going to be finding people that actually want to sell the property at a discount. So finding motivated sellers is going to be the main thing to focus on. And you can pull a list, call them, text them, reach out to them any way you possibly can. But this is the point of business. Don't think about this as a sales business or some crazy real estate business because we're not even owning the real estate in wholesaling. It's kind of a marketing business. Wholesaling is a sales and marketing business more than anything else, and mostly a marketing business. And we're not even owning the real estate here. So stop overthinking this. Like, stop trying to be a big shot real estate developer type guy. Like, I try to buy properties for cash, and if you want to sell them, let me give you an offer. Then we sell the deal to a cash buyer and make our assignment fee. It's really not that complicated here. N is for novations. Okay, let's go to the next one. Guys, I'm not a big fan of novations. There's no secret to this. I'll be straight up with you. I think novations are a terrible idea for 99% of wholesalers out there. Now, I do change my mind when new evidence presents myself, when new evidence is presented to me. And there are individuals out here in the wholesaling space where they're actually making a lot of money doing novations. They're doing them correctly, but they're doing one very specific thing where they're finding the right sellers for novations, right? Like it's Cinderella's glass slipper. Okay, you cannot try to force a glass slipper onto someone and make it fit. Either it fits or it doesn't, or the thing's going to break. And there are certain people that are like super, but what makes them legit and I believe trustworthy is they will only do novations on the right type of seller. They won't force it. And I don't believe there's just enough sellers like that out there to be focusing only on that, but some people make a really good living doing it. And so I'm not going to say novations are a scam, like I've said before, but I would still highly, highly, highly encourage you avoid novations. I mean, I hate on market, but I know people making millions of dollars doing on market. Now, it's not most wholesalers, and it's a very specific type of wholesaler who's like elite on the phones, but on market is way better than novations. Now, O is for offers. Remember, kind of got back to offers here talking about acquisitions, but offers are super important. And because if you ain't making offers, you ain't making money. And there's 3 types of offers I think you should be focusing on, right? There is number 1, just a standard lowball, just offering to buy the property for the lowest price possible. So, hey, Mr. Seller, what price are you looking to get rid of the house for? They give you a price, you count it with a lowball, boom. You can even do a price anchor, which is just throwing out a lowball price. It's saying, you know, the best case scenario for me is I buy this at this house. Best case scenario is I buy this at this price. And they say, well, I can never do that. I'm like, well, yeah, it's my best case scenario. I mean, what price would you be at? And then you go back and forth from there. Now, number 2 is what I really, really like. I call it reverse price anchoring. But this is where you have someone like a partner give you a lowball offer like on the CRM before you go on the appointment or before you go talk to them virtually. And they give you a legit offer. And then you say, hey, I'll send my partner Rick and he wanted to buy this property for around $60,000. And then they say, no, well, that's my partner. He's crazy. And you counter from there. And 3 is going to be like the dollar bill method. So the seller says, I have no idea how much I want to sell the house for. Well, I mean, would you take $1 million for the house? And they'll say, yeah, I'd love to sell it for $1 million. Well, I mean, would you take $1 for the house? Ah, that's way too low. Well, Mr. Seller, what price between $1 million and $1 would you take for the property? And you negotiate from there. P is going to be the purchase agreement. Now, I like to call it the contract, but it's technically called the purchase and sale agreement. This is the contract where we go buy the property. If you want to go get that free contract, just go to Wholesaling.com. We actually fill the contract out for you in a video and show you how to fill it the correct way. So you feel confident filling out in front of a seller or doing it virtually. Now, if you want to get the purchase and sale contract signed electronically and do something what we call an e-signature, an e-sign, there's a couple free sites like PandaDoc and stuff like that, which are nice. Or you can use a paid e-signing service, which is way more professional, like DocuSign. That'll run you like $30-$40 a month, but I still prefer to use XLeads because you kind of get everything for $97 a month, right? You get the free unlimited skip tracing, the dialer, the texting, the CRM, comping, the cash buyers, and it comes with a free e-signing service. Now, the reason why this is going to be better than a free service is because you actually get a receipt with the IP address and the time of signature. The reason is, worst case scenario, the seller says, I never signed that, and you have to go to court or something, right? Well, you actually have this receipt, which we can actually give you the back-end logs instead of XLeads on, where this seller with this IP address did sign it at this time, showing that wasn't a fraudulent signature. That's something a lot of free e-signing services don't have, that DocuSign has and Wholesaling.com has, that XLeads has. So that's why it's important to have a good e-signing service, and XLeads literally has it all. Q stands for qualifying. It's really important to qualify your sellers and your buyers. What this basically means is you actually want to talk to motivated sellers that actually want to sell the property. You do not want to give offers to tire kickers. First, it's going to waste your time that you can be doing marketing or talking to actually legit sellers. And also, who wants to give offers to people that don't want an offer or that are just going to automatically say no? It's a waste of your time. And if somebody's not ready to make a decision and you give them an offer, you're going to kind of sour them out versus they're not ready now. You know, if they're not qualified, we're just going to follow up with you and maybe you can get a deal from that. Next here is qualifying the cash buyer. It's like, you don't want to deal with a buyer that's actually fake, right? Cannot tell you how many 17 and 18-year-old legit cash buyers try to buy my deals, and what they're really doing is daisy chaining and JVing. Guys, the truth here is if a cash buyer has not bought at least 2 properties for cash in the past 365 days, they're probably not a cash buyer you want to deal with. And they won't be doing any real volume with you. And the cool part is you can't really fake a deed. And so if you ask what properties they bought and you look up the deed and they signed the deed, yeah, they're legit. And if they fake the deed, that's forgery, and they'd be going to federal prison. So it's very, very hard to be screwed from a cash buyer if you actually qualify them and do the right due diligence that we teach inside of Wholesaling.com. Now, R stands for rapport, but rapport is so important with motivated sellers. Like building that connection and that trust is going to be one of the biggest things outside of speed of if you get the deal or not compared to another wholesaler. Now, I don't really get into competition too much because it's better to be fast, getting to the seller and making offers as quick as you can. But rapport does have its place, especially with the seller if you get, which I do a lot still. Now, S is for skip tracing. So if we want to send emails, right, we want to cold call, we want to text, by far the best place to get phone numbers when you have no money is going to be truepeoplesearch.com and cyberbackgroundchecks.com. The issue is if I had 1,000 leads, it would probably take me 10, 15, even 20 hours to skip trace that whole list, if not 40 hours, which will just blow your entire time. Like you won't be able to make even any calls because you spend all the time skip tracing, which is very manual and intensive. That's why you can use a service like X Leads where you get 15,000 skip traces included with the e-signing and the Dispo and the Ninja Mode and the free Go high level account, the CRM, all that stuff, right? But you get 15,000 skip traces included with X Leads where you just upload your probate list of 1,000 and in seconds, it's all skip traced right there. So it's really up to you. There's free options, paid options. Don't get scammed. Somebody trying to sell you 6 or 8. I mean, spending $100 for 1,000 leads is a scam when you get 15,000 for X Leads and you get literally everything else included. T stands for title company. So it's important to have the right wholesaling title company. The truth is you should not be using a title company that doesn't do any wholesale transactions. And you want most wholesalers to be using the same title companies. Now, I know that sounds counterintuitive here, but if nobody in wholesaling is using that title company, it's probably because the title company is not good for wholesaling. I know some nightmare scenarios with title companies where they would go out here and say, hey, Mr. Seller, are you okay with Zach making a $50,000 assignment fee? Not because they legally have to, just because honestly, like they're jerks and they want to cover their butts on literally everything, which could lose the deal for you. There's also title companies that won't do double closings or help you out in tough situations, right? These are like boutique, pretty realtor title companies, not the actual wholesale real estate investing title companies that are used to bad situations and crazy title problems. So make sure when you call your title company up and you want to try to find a good one, number one, you want to make sure they're okay with your contract. B, you want to make sure that they're okay with assignment of contracts and wholesaling, make sure they're okay with double closings, and also make sure that they do wholesale transactions. Like how many wholesale transactions do you guys usually do a month? The number is honestly nothing. Go and find one that everyone's using. I mean, just go to Wholesaling.com and ask what title companies do you guys use? And plenty of people will tell you in the comments. U stands for upside down houses. So in wholesaling real estate, you're going to come to houses that are upside down on the mortgage. And what this basically means is they owe more than what the property's worth. The house to a cash buyer is worth $100,000 and they owe $150,000. Now, you've probably been wholesaling the past 4 years. You've never encountered this at all because appreciation keeps skyrocketing. But now we're seeing certain cities where the year-over-year values are actually going down and some people are underwater on their mortgage, especially if you take HELOCs at super big interest rates. So can you wholesale a property that has no equity or negative equity? Well, technically, yes. You can actually do a subject to, which you're buying the house subject to the existing, where you offer to take over the debt payments and they deed you over the property. I prefer a land trust for this. And if the cash flow works, you can sell it to a cash buyer who's going to buy the subject to for you, who's going to buy the subject to from you for an assignment fee. So you can technically wholesale a subject to transaction. Now, there's other creative finance strategies, but this is a wholesaling video, so we're not going to get too much into that. Just go to Wholesaling.com for the rest. That's how you can absolutely make some money with upside down houses. Avoid short sales at all costs. V stands for virtual wholesaling. So virtual wholesaling is pretty much the same exact process as regular wholesaling. You find a motivated seller, you lock up a contract, you sell it to a cash buyer. Now, what's really different in virtual wholesaling is you're locking up the deal over the phone, which is fine. You just got to let them know your process. Like, hey, the seller might be like, well, can you go meet me at the house? Well, actually what we do is we come up with the agreement first, and then we come out and see the house because we just basically verify the condition because we trust you. And all you really need is some good e-signing and most importantly, a boots on the ground. So you could have somebody go out there, take pictures of the house, walk a buyer through, which you pay for, right? You pay $100, $200 for like a BPO company, a realtor, someone to walk through the house. Or you could actually get a joint venture, a JV partner who would actually, for half the assignment fee, who would actually find the buyer for you and actually do all the walkthroughs for you, which is very ideal, especially as a beginner. So virtual wholesaling is amazing. That's actually where I make most of my money in wholesaling now. It used to be in person, but the cool part of virtual wholesaling is you can do wholesaling all over the country. And there's really an unlimited supply of motivated sellers throughout the country versus in your own local market. So if you're really good at building systems and operations, virtual wholesaling can be amazing. W stands for Wholesaling 101. Remember, a lot of us like to overcomplicate wholesaling and put all these crazy terms in it and try to overthink this. Wholesaling real estate is all about one thing: selling paper. So you're selling contracts. That is what wholesaling is. Can't sell a contract to a cash buyer if the deal ain't good. So make sure you find actual motivated sellers. Give them lowball offers. Sign the contract, sell to a cash buyer for a decent enough profit, which is an assignment fee for you, and make your money. All the stuff and talk in between that is not going to get you as much deals as just taking the action. So many people want to overcomplicate it and have all this fear in wholesaling, when just taking the action is going to be the thing that's going to give you freedom and give you wholesale real estate deals. Now, X is for X Leads, the best wholesaling real estate software out there. We call it X Leads because X is a variable, and the variable of you going to be, and we truly believe the variable for you to become successful or not in wholesaling is going to be having the right data, the right skip tracing, having amazing software, and that's what X Leads is all about, right? For $97 a month, again, you get unlimited free skip tracing, a dialer, best data, comping, e-signing, a dispo platform. You can even post your deals, email blast them inside the software. Don't feel like X Leads is going to be like the thing that's going to make me successful or not. Like, it's going to help a lot, but it's not going to be the thing. It's going to be ultimately you, because you don't need any money to get started in wholesaling real estate and in virtual wholesaling. Now, Y stands for YouTube Lives, and I go live a lot on this YouTube channel. On this YouTube channel, I go live every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so New York time, and I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Rick goes live every Monday at 5 o'clock Eastern. And I'll even do a Discord call for the Discord community every single Friday at 8 p.m. too, absolutely for free. There's a lot of options and a lot of live streams you can join. So I recommend you just go to freewholesaling.com and go to the calendar, and all the live streams and links are going to be on there. Almost every single day we have a live stream. So you never miss a day of us going live, answering your questions, and teaching you wholesaling real estate, because the reason we do all these lives is wholesaling real estate changes so much and there's so much to talk about that you don't want to miss a moment and be with other wholesalers succeeding in the game. So make sure you subscribe and don't miss a live stream. Hit that bell. And last, Z, ZachDiscord.com. ZachDiscord.com is my Discord community. We're over 26,000 people strong. It is the largest wholesaling Discord out there. It's one of my favorite platforms for learning how to wholesale and connecting with other people. Every single night, there's always 6- and 7-figure wholesalers hanging out in the lounge on the voice chats, just talking to other people. And we're honestly a community in that Discord. Same thing for freewholesaling.com, where we want to see you succeed. No coaching sales, anything like that. If you want to check it out, go to ZachDiscord.com, and that is wholesaling real estate from A to Z. If you got any value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, go to freewholesaling.com, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.